In the next few minutes, I'm going to expose 10 bread brands hiding refined flours, chemical preservatives, and processing shortcuts behind their soft, pillowy promises. Plus, I'll reveal the 3 brands that actually deliver nutrition without the additive baggage. Stay until the end, because number 1 will change how you navigate the bread aisle forever. Let's start with what's sitting in your pantry right now. 10. Wonder Bread. Starting at number 10, Wonder Bread has been an American staple since 1921, and for many of us, those colorful polka dots represent childhood sandwiches and simpler times. But here's what the nostalgic packaging doesn't tell you. Wonder Bread is made primarily from refined enriched wheat flour, which means the wheat kernel has been stripped of its bran and germ, the very parts that contain fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Then manufacturers add back synthetic vitamins in a process called enrichment, trying to replace what industrial milling destroyed. But your body doesn't absorb these laboratory-created nutrients the same way it does natural whole-grain nutrition. The soft, pillowy texture that made Wonder Bread famous comes at a cost. Like most commercial white breads, Wonder relies on additives and preservatives to extend shelf life far beyond what naturally fermented bread could achieve. For older adults especially, choosing refined grain breads means missing out on the fiber that supports digestive health and helps regulate blood sugar, benefits that become increasingly important as we age. 9. Wholesome Bread. At number 9, Wholesome Bread represents another classic American packaged white bread that many grew up trusting. The brand has been around since the early 20th century, carrying the kind of familiarity that makes you reach for it without thinking twice. Wholesome builds its products on refined wheat flour as the foundation, using the same stripped-down grain that removes the fiber and nutrients your body actually needs. The refining process creates a product that digests rapidly, causing blood sugar spikes that whole-grain breads naturally prevent through their intact fiber content. What makes this particularly concerning for the 45 and older crowd is that nutrition guidance consistently recommends whole grains over refined options. Yet brands like Wholesome continue producing white bread that contradicts these recommendations. You're essentially eating a processed grain product that's had its beneficial components removed, then had a handful of synthetic nutrients sprinkled back in. 8. Sunbeam Bread. Coming in at number 8, Sunbeam Bread carries that same vintage American appeal, with branding that evokes mid-century grocery stores and family dinners. The cheerful name suggests wholesome sunshine, but the ingredient reality tells a different story. Sunbeam produces packaged white bread made with refined flour rather than predominantly whole grains, following the same nutritionally depleted formula as its competitors. The refining process strips away the wheat's natural fiber, B vitamins, minerals, and beneficial plant compounds. Like other commercially produced white breads, Sunbeam typically includes additives designed to extend shelf life well beyond what traditional bread could achieve. For older adults managing weight, blood sugar, or digestive health, refined white bread offers empty calories without the fiber and nutrients that support these concerns. 7. Sara Lee. At number 7, Sara Lee has built an empire on convenience and nostalgia, with products that generations of families have trusted. The brand represents busy mornings and easy lunches, fitting perfectly into American life. Many Sara Lee sandwich breads use enriched white or refined flours instead of whole grains as their primary ingredient, which means you're starting with nutritionally compromised flour that's had its beneficial components removed during processing. Beyond the refined flour foundation, packaged Sara Lee breads often include added sugars and preservatives that extend shelf life and enhance flavor. For adults watching their sugar intake or trying to maintain stable blood sugar levels, even small amounts of added sugar in bread can contribute to daily totals in ways you might not expect. Sara Lee built its reputation on convenience, but that convenience often comes at the cost of nutritional integrity. 6. Nature's Own. At number 6, Nature's Own deserves special attention because the branding actively misleads consumers. The name suggests natural ingredients and wholesome nutrition, creating a health halo that influences purchasing decisions. Many shoppers reach for Nature's Own believing they're making a healthier choice, but the ingredient list tells a different story. Widely sold Nature's Own breads often feature enriched or refined flours as their primary ingredients rather than whole grains, using the same nutritionally stripped flour as cheaper white bread brands. The nature-focused marketing creates an expectation that doesn't match the refined grain reality inside the package. Common additives in these packaged breads can include dough conditioners and preservatives that extend shelf life and improve texture through chemical intervention rather than traditional baking methods. These compounds keep the bread soft and uniform, but they represent industrial food science rather than the natural processes the brand name implies. For health-conscious older adults trying to make better choices in the bread aisle, Nature's Own presents a particular challenge because the marketing suggests one thing while the ingredients deliver another. You think you're choosing natural and wholesome based on the name and packaging imagery, but you're often getting refined flour with added vitamins and chemical additives for preservation. The lesson here is crucial. Never judge bread by its marketing claims. Always flip the package and read the actual ingredient list, because brands count on consumers trusting names and labels rather than verifying what's actually inside. Nature's Own proves that natural-sounding names can package highly processed products. 5. Udi's approaching our top 5. Udi's represents the gluten-free bread category, which many people assume is automatically healthier. Here's the truth that gluten-free marketing doesn't want you to know. Removing gluten doesn't mean adding nutrition. Many Udi's gluten-free breads rely on refined rice flours and added starches as their base ingredients, which means you're trading wheat's refined flour for rice's refined flour. Both are stripped of their natural fiber and nutrients during processing, leaving you with simple starches that digest rapidly and spike blood sugar, similarly to white bread. Gluten-free commercial breads often include gums and texture additives to compensate for gluten's binding properties, introducing chemical compounds that traditional bread never contained. These gums and processed starches create the texture and structure that gluten provides naturally, but they do so through food science rather than whole ingredients. For older adults who don't have celiac disease or genuine gluten sensitivity, choosing gluten-free bread offers no health advantage and often delivers inferior nutrition compared to whole-grain wheat breads. The gluten-free trend has created a massive market of processed foods that command premium prices while delivering refined starches dressed up as health food. Unless you have a medical reason to avoid gluten, you're paying more for bread that's nutritionally comparable or inferior to standard white bread, just made with refined rice instead of refined wheat. Udi's and similar brands have capitalized on gluten anxiety without necessarily providing better nutrition, proving that dietary trends don't always align with dietary wisdom. 4. Canyon Bakehouse. At number 4, Canyon Bakehouse markets itself as premium, gluten-free bread, but premium pricing doesn't guarantee premium nutrition. Some Canyon Bakehouse breads contain rice flour and starches as main ingredients, following the same refined flour pattern as conventional gluten-free breads. The rice flour used is typically white rice flour, which has been milled to remove the bran and germ, just like refined wheat flour, leaving behind simple starch without the fiber and nutrients that whole grain rice would provide. You're essentially getting gluten-free white bread at a significant markup. The bread includes added gums and processed starches to mimic traditional bread texture, using ingredients like xanthan gum, tapioca starch, and potato starch to create structure and chewiness. While these additives are generally recognized as safe, they represent industrial food ingredients rather than the simple flour, water, salt, and yeast that defined bread for millennia. For health-conscious consumers choosing gluten-free without medical necessity, Canyon Bakehouse delivers convenience and acceptable texture, but not the nutritional superiority the premium price suggests. The gluten-free bread category has exploded over the past 15 years, creating opportunities for brands to charge premium prices for products that often contain refined flours and additives, just like conventional breads. Unless celiac disease or confirmed gluten sensitivity requires it, you're better served by whole grain wheat bread than expensive gluten-free alternatives made from refined rice flour and starches. Canyon Bakehouse proves that premium branding and premium ingredients aren't always the same thing. 3. Pepperidge Farm. Claiming the number 3 spot, Pepperidge Farm carries significant nostalgia for anyone who grew up with their distinctive bags and varieties. The brand has represented quality and tradition for generations, making it a trusted name in American pantries. But trust based on decades-old reputation needs verification against current ingredient realities. Pepperidge Farm operates as a major commercial bread brand with many products made from refined flours rather than whole grains, prioritizing the soft texture and mild flavor that refined white flour delivers. The processing removes the wheat kernel's nutritious components before it ever reaches the mixing bowl. Packaged sandwich breads from Pepperidge Farm frequently include preservatives and dough, conditioners common in industrial bread production, chemicals that extend shelf life and standardize texture across massive production volumes. These additives include calcium propionate to prevent mold, monoglycerides to improve texture, and various enzymes to condition the dough, creating bread that can survive weeks of distribution and storage. For older adults who remember when bread came from local bakeries and went stale within days, this extended shelf life should raise questions about what's been added to prevent the natural aging that fresh bread undergoes. The tradition that Pepperidge Farm marketing emphasizes is more about brand heritage than ingredient tradition. Real traditional bread making uses minimal ingredients and produces a product that's consumed quickly because it lacks the preservatives for extended storage. When you're choosing bread, the question isn't which brand your parents trusted, but which ingredients your body needs. Pepperidge Farm's nostalgic appeal can't overcome the refined flour and preservative reality inside most of their packages. 2. Brownberry. Coming in at number 2, Brownberry operates as part of large commercial bread portfolios, though many consumers don't realize they're buying industrial bread under a name that suggests small batch quality. The brand, owned by Bimbo Bakeries USA, one of the largest baking companies in the world, often uses enriched wheat flour as its base ingredient. That enriched label means the flour started as refined wheat that had its bran and germ removed, stripping away natural nutrition, then had synthetic vitamins added back in an attempt to compensate for industrial processing losses. Industrial bread products generally contain additives like preservatives and conditioners that small bakeries would never use, because mass production requires different priorities than artisanal baking. These breads need to survive long distribution chains, sit in warehouses, stock store shelves for extended periods, and then remain fresh in home pantries for weeks. Natural bread simply can't achieve this timeline without molding or going stale, which is why commercial producers add calcium propionate, sorbic acid, and various dough conditioners to their formulas. For consumers in their 40s, 50s, and beyond, understanding that bread shouldn't stay soft for 2 weeks helps clarify what's actually natural versus what's chemical preservation. Brownberry might sound like a wholesome neighborhood bakery, but the reality is industrial-scale production using refined flour and additives to create shelf-stable products that prioritize distribution logistics over nutritional quality. The disconnect between marketing imagery and ingredient reality reaches its peak with brands like this, where everything about the name and packaging suggests traditional quality while the actual formula follows industrial conventions. 1. Orwheat, taking the #1 spot as the bread brand most deserving your avoidance. Orwheat combines all the concerning patterns we've discussed into products that many people mistakenly view as premium choices. Also owned by Bimbo Bakeries USA, Orwheat sandwich bread products are typically made with refined or enriched flour bases, using wheat that's been processed to remove the very components that make whole grains nutritious. The enrichment process adds back synthetic vitamins, but this nutritional band-aid can't replicate the complex fiber, minerals, and beneficial compounds that refining destroyed. Like many mass-market breads, Orwheat products include stabilizers and preservatives that enable the extended shelf life that industrial distribution demands. These chemical additions keep bread soft, prevent mold growth, and maintain consistent texture across shipping and storage conditions that would ruin traditional bread within days. What makes Orwheat particularly problematic is the premium positioning that encourages consumers to believe they're making a healthier choice when ingredient analysis shows otherwise. The packaging creates expectations of quality and wholesomeness that the refined flour and preservative lists simply don't support. For older adults who've watched bread evolve from bakery staple to supermarket commodity over their lifetimes, Orwheat represents everything that's gone wrong in that transformation. Real bread requires so few ingredients that you can count them on one hand: flour, water, salt, yeast. When bread contains a dozen or more ingredients, including compounds you can't pronounce, you're no longer eating traditional bread, but rather an industrial facsimile engineered for profit margins and distribution efficiency rather than nutrition and flavor. The fact that we've normalized bread that stays soft for weeks, that we expect uniform texture and extended freshness, shows how far we've drifted from what bread actually is. Orwheat earns the top spot because it charges premium prices for refined flour and additives while its marketing implies superior quality, making it not just nutritionally problematic, but actively deceptive in how it positions itself to health-conscious shoppers. After exposing the refined flour offenders and chemical preservatives, here's the good news for bread lovers who want real nutrition. These three brands prove bread can be made right, with whole grains and minimal processing. 3. Dave's Killer. Bread starting our safer list at number 3, Dave's Killer Bread has revolutionized the commercial bread aisle by proving that mass-market bread can prioritize ingredients over additives. This USDA-certified organic bread brand focuses on whole grains and seeds, packing their loaves with ingredients you can actually identify and pronounce. The organic certification means the wheat and other grains are grown without synthetic pesticides or herbicides. Dave's Killer bread products are non-GMO project verified, which means independent testing confirms the absence of genetically modified ingredients. The breads contain minimal chemical additives, relying instead on whole grain flour, seeds, and simple ingredients to create texture and flavor naturally. For older adults prioritizing fiber intake for digestive health and blood sugar management, Dave's delivers the whole grain nutrition that refined bread strip away. 2. Food for Life. Ezekiel 4.9. At number 2, Food for Life. Ezekiel 4.9 represents bread in its most nutritionally complete form, using an ancient combination of sprouted whole grains and legumes. Ezekiel bread is made from sprouted whole grains and legumes without preservatives or refined flour. The sprouting process increases nutrient availability, breaks down compounds that can interfere with mineral absorption, and creates a bread that's easier to digest than conventional whole grain breads. The ingredient list reads like a biblical recipe: organic sprouted wheat, organic sprouted barley, organic sprouted millet, organic sprouted lentils, organic sprouted soybeans, organic sprouted spelt. Every ingredient is certified organic with simple, recognizable components. There are no preservatives, which is why you'll find Ezekiel bread in the freezer section rather than the shelf-stable bread aisle. For health-conscious older adults, Ezekiel bread delivers complete protein from the combination of grains and legumes, providing all essential amino acids in one food. 1. French Meadow Bakery. Taking the number 1 spot as the absolute best bread choice, French Meadow Bakery delivers certified organic breads without artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. This USDA-certified organic bakery produces breads that return to fundamental simplicity, using whole grain and gluten-free options with ingredient lists that make sense. What sets French Meadow apart is their unwavering commitment to clean ingredients across their entire product line. The organic certification covers every ingredient, ensuring that the grains are grown without synthetic pesticides or herbicides. French Meadow offers whole grain options that deliver the fiber, vitamins, and minerals that refined breads sacrifice. Their gluten-free varieties avoid the heavy reliance on refined rice flour and excessive starches that plague most gluten-free commercial breads. The simple ingredient lists mean you know exactly what you're eating: organic whole grain flour, water, sea salt, yeast, perhaps some seeds or honey. French Meadow Bakery proves that commercial bread production can honor both organic principles and nutritional integrity. There you have it: 10 bread brands built on refined flour and preservatives, plus 3 that actually honor what bread should be. Before your next grocery run, remember to check ingredient lists for whole grains first, avoid lengthy additive lists, and choose organic when possible. Your daily bread should nourish you, not just fill the sandwich. If this video changed how you'll shop the bread aisle, hit that like button and share this with friends and family who deserve better than refined flour dressed up as nutrition. Subscribe so you never miss content helping you make truly informed choices. Thanks for watching, and here's to choosing bread that actually earns its place on your table.